My name is Mike Johnson, and this is my extemporaneous speech on the history of Jeeps. Riding around on a nice summer day with the top and doors offered brand new Wrangler is typically what you think about when you think of Jeeps. While this is mostly right, the earlier Jeeps were built for a much different purpose. According to KaiserWillies.com, the original Jeep was created in November of 1940 and was built strictly for military service. It was the original go anywhere, do anything vehicle. The Jeep Willys would go on to aid the Allied forces to a victory in World War II. From my research of Jeep history and my experiences with driving Jeeps, I have discovered that there is no vehicle that can combine the rugged off-road ability with a simplistic and basic design like Jeep can. Today I will tell you about the three main Jeep platforms that have helped to shape the brand that we have all come to know and love today. Let's start with one of the most famous civilian Jeeps, the CJ7. CJ7 was created in 1976 and almost 400,000 were built during the 11 years of production. It was an upgrade of the CJ5 and was much better suited for civilian use. It featured a box frame that was widened for stability, along with anti-sway bars and an added steering stabilizer that added for better drivability. They also added 10 inches of wheelbase, which made the CJ long enough for comfort but short enough to still get down and dirty on the trails. It was a popular rig among all fronts. In 1987, the CJ7 was gone and the Wrangler was born. Since its production, there haven't been any head-to-head competitors with the Jeep Wrangler. The CJ7, however, is in a class of its own. According to Jeep.com, it remains one of the most sought-after Jeeps for restoration, off-roading, and just long drives down to the beach. It is still used in the sport of mud racing and is a favorite for rock crawlers. The end of the CJ was the end of AMC, but marked the beginning for the Wrangler. The YJ Wrangler was designed by American Motors, and it was created to have more comfort to draw in a bigger crowd of everyday drivers. It featured a wider track with less ground clearance and wider leaf springs for better handling. The new grille was slightly rounded and bent in the middle, as well as it featured rectangular headlights. It also featured a wider windshield that had the windshield wipers actually rest on the windshield, which gave it an even more distinct look. JeepFederation.com says that if there was ever a different Jeep model, it would be the YJ. It was the one and only Wrangler with square headlights, which a lot of customers seem to dislike. It was a lot similar to the CJ7 with the exception of the grille and the headlights. The body of both are almost indistinguishable. On to the second generation of Wrangler, the TJ. The Wrangler there have been many great models over the 71 long years of production for Jeep, but the Wrangler is the most easily recognizable all over the world. The TJ is one of the most popular and successful Jeep Wrangler models. Production began in 1997 and lasted until 2006. This 9-year reign saw many improvements to the model that made a significant impact to the Jeep brand. The second generation Wrangler featured a change in looks, like rounded headlights going back to the CJ. It was also known as the modern CJ, according to Jeepblog.com. There was few body changes that differed from the CJ. Turn signals on the front fenders were changed other than the obvious rounded headlight change. And the coil spring suspension was added for better on-road stability, and the grille was bent slightly inwards in the middle. The LJ was produced in 2004 to 2006 and only differed in wheelbase, which increased 10 inches for a better storage compartment in the back of the vehicle. Now that we have discussed the three main Jeep body styles, let's review what we've learned. We have learned about the early civilian Jeeps like the CJ7. Also, we learned about the first and second generation Wranglers, the TJ and the YJ, and the reasons for their popularity. According to CNBC, Jeep sold 100,000 vehicles in May of 2018. This is a 30% increase from the same time last year. Jeep is on par right now to double their sales from 2014, which were about 1 million, to 2 million in 2018. Jeep has now become more popular than ever. While Jeeps are one of the most easily recognizable vehicles on the road, most people do not fully understand the history or reasoning behind that truly iconic look.